Equip. This section looks at some of the tools and materials you might need to make a cathedral window project, describing their uses. The tools are grouped according to their function and include design tools, cutting tools, sewing tools, and pressing tools. The other tools and materials available can be overwhelming, but you really only need the basics listed here to get going. Design tools. Thin card and paper to print the templates. Template plastic to make more durable templates. Use flat and transparent plastic so you can see through it. A good cutter and a mat to cut the templates correctly, and a permanent marker if you use plastic to make the templates. Design board to display work in progress so you can see if a design is working. This may be a piece of fabric fixed to a wall or a board that falls away when not in use. A closet curtain can be a temporary display like this one. Digital camera to take pictures of your work when moved and change the elements to get different looks, where you can evaluate the value or other potential problems using the camera of your cell phone, and then move the work back to its original position and take another picture. A color wheel is handy for learning how colors relate to each other and will help you choose the fabric for your cathedral window project successfully. You can print and use the color charts in the resources section in the same way. Sewing tools. Sewing machine. Any sewing machine that has a zigzag function and a variable stitch length can be used for cathedral window. Pens. Use pens that are fine and longer than the usual pens, but still stronger enough to pin through several layers of fabric. For pinning the windows, use the shorter, so that the pins don't extend beyond the center area. Needles. There are many types of needles for machine and hand sewing, each designed for specific types of thread or fabric. Choose the needle to suit your task. Fabric glue. Used as a temporary adhesive for tacking fabrics together or for holding the layers of a quilt together prior to quilting. Seam ripper. Mistakes happen, and a seam ripper is useful for removing stitches without damaging the fabric. Most sewing machines have one in the toolkits. Pressing tools. Starch. Spray starch helps to firm up fabrics and makes cutting and sewing easier. Avoid overspraying, as this can distort the fabric as you press it. Iron board. Use a standard iron board for ironing, creasing fabric, and pressing work at all stages. A small or portable ironing board is useful for placing near the sewing machine for pressing the units as they are sewn. Steam iron. An iron is essential for cathedral window technique. In most cases, it will be used dry, but a steam function may be needed at times. Cutting tools. Snips. These are short scissors that work with a squeezing action and are useful for snipping threads. Rotary cutter. Although scissors can be used for cutting fabric, a rotary cutter will make the task easier and quicker. These have very sharp blades that can slide through many layers of fabric at once. Templates to cut the pieces of the units. Acrylic rulers. There are dozens of rulers, often called quilter's rulers, including square, rectangular, triangular, hexagonal, and diamond rulers. Normal rulers are fine for designing, but should not be used for rotary cutting as they are not robust enough. Tape measure. A standard tape measure with imperial and metric measure will be needed. Use a good quality one that will not stretch. Cutting mat. Mats with a self-healing surface are used with rotary cutters and are available in many sizes. Scissors. A large pair of sharp fabric shears will be needed. plus a smaller sharp pointed embroidery scissors. Keep a pair of scissors just for paper and card. Materials. Fabrics. For the cathedral window technique, you have to consider the fabric to make the base and the fabric for the windows separately. See more in the fabric section. Threads for sewing. An ordinary cotton or all-purpose sewing thread can be used to make the base by hand or by machine. To make the window frame, try to match the color of the thread with the fabric and use a cotton thread for applique work. Threads for quilting. Stronger threads are needed for quilting, so use 100% cotton quilting thread for quilting. Button is the material layered between two fabrics to form a quilt sandwich. There are many types made from different materials. Traditionally, Cathedral Window has no borders, no backing, and no layering with batting, but I usually add batting to the borders. See more in the finishing section. Embellishment. It can be anything you choose to beautify your work, from using unusual threads for decorative embroidery stitches to adding trims, ribbons, beads, bottoms, and charms of it.